This is my comparative study final draft for IB Film, where I'll be covering Spirited Away based on Matsuyama, Japan, and Zootopia based on numerous landmark cities in the United States, including New York City, Los Angeles, and others. My film focus will be on animation, and I'll be analyzing how both films use visual storytelling and symbolism to reflect numerous universal and nuanced societal issues through the medium of animation, even though the studios come from different parts of the globe, that being the United States and Japan. The topic which I will be abiding by throughout this comparative is, how do Spirited Away and Zootopia use visual storytelling and symbolism to critique societal issues? Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away and Byron Howard and Rich Moore's Zootopia are animated films that explore themes of transformation, identity, and societal structure. Overall, these films feature young protagonists navigating unfamiliar worlds filled with complex social hierarchies. Within these films, they were chosen due to their strong visual and symbolic critiques of real-world issues they continuously illustrate. Justification for choice of task components. I chose animation as a focus for this comparative study because the medium allows for unique exploration of both abstract and literal symbolism. The visual storytelling in animated films has the capacity to create imaginative worlds that push the boundaries of realism, enabling deeper commentary on societal issues. I selected Spirited Away and Zootopia because they are both highly acclaimed and widely recognized for their rich use of visual elements to critique complex societal issues, despite being from different cultural contexts. Spirited Away examines Japanese societal structures, environmentalism, and consumerism, while Zootopia tackles issues like prejudice and social segregation in a modern urban environment. The line of inquiry was chosen to analyze how both films utilize the animation medium to explore and critique these universal and culturally specific themes, allowing for a broad yet nuanced discussion of societal issues. Real-world context. Understanding the cultural and historical context behind these films is extremely key to analyzing their messages. First, Miyazaki's Spirited Away was created during a time when Japan was experiencing rapid modernization and economic growth, and this film reflects the anxieties which come from the loss of traditional values and symbolically emphasizes the impact of consumerism on younger generations. The bathhouse setting symbolizes capitalism with its focus on labor hierarchy and the corruption of innocence. Scholar Bokong Sun discusses how the film incorporates Shinto beliefs and critiques modern materialism and highlights the spiritual emptiness of a world driven by greed. Zootopia, on the other hand, was released during a period of social change in the United States, which primarily revolved around racial and gender equality. This film reflects the ongoing discussions about systemic bias and the challenges people face to overcome the harsh barriers of stereotypes and prejudice. According to Byron Howard, Zootopia uses animals as metaphors for addressing real-world discrimination, and it is essential to the creator that he can spread this theme to all ages as universal commentary. Also, for the film's setting, a city where different species must coexist, vividly conveys the stark separations and disparities in groups formed in society, and speaks volumes to the idea that humanity needs to put forth the effort to have our multifaceted and multicultural society thrive. Even with the unique and rich cultural backgrounds each of these films come from, including the current transformations in the society within the United States, having an influx of movements and advocacy for racial and gender equality, while Japan rapidly modernizes in today's society. Both films uniquely address the ongoing discussions in each of their countries. In both Japan and the United States, animation has evolved to become an influential medium for addressing social and cultural issues. The history of Japanese animation, or anime, is marked by a tendency toward blending entertainment with philosophical and cultural commentary. This is evident in Spirited Away, where Hayao Miyazaki's unique style combines fantastical elements with serious reflections on societal challenges. Miyazaki's work, often infused with environmental and anti-capitalist themes, reflects Japan's post-war recovery and its rapid industrialization. The 1990s, a time when Japan was grappling with the effects of its economic bubble burst, influenced the themes of loss, consumerism, and environmental decay in Spirited Away. This film, like many anime works, used animation not only to tell a story, but to express deeper societal concerns, showcasing how anime serves as a vehicle for reflection on Japan's modern identity. Similarly, American animation has evolved to tackle more socially relevant topics, with Disney playing a significant role in this transition. Zootopia represents a turning point for Disney, reflecting broader shifts in American culture regarding race identity and systemic prejudice. The film's use of anthropomorphic animals to reflect human societal structures was a deliberate choice to simplify complex issues like discrimination, thus making them accessible to younger audiences. The trend in Western animation to confront societal issues emerged in the 1990s and 2000s as studios like Pixar and Disney began creating films that question traditional norms and expectations. As seen in films like Zootopia, American animation is increasingly pushing beyond entertainment to include strong social commentary, marking a shift towards a more mature and inclusive genre that critiques real-world issues. Symbolism. In Spirited Away, the bathhouse was artificial, harsh lighting, and overbearing size symbolizes the materialistic, consumer-driven world. The stark contrast between this setting and the more natural, peaceful environment, such as Chihiro's world outside the bathhouse, reflects her emotional and personal growth. These visual elements reinforce the critique of consumerism and environmental degradation, which Miyazaki critiques through the setting's oppressive nature. The bathhouse is a direct metaphor for a system that prioritizes profit over well-being. As Chihiro matures and learns to navigate the system, the film's lighting and composition shift, signaling her own transformation and resilience. In Zootopia, the city's district divisions represent societal segregation and reinforce the film's critique of prejudice and inequality. Each district visually mirrors the characteristics of the animals that inhabit it, such as the Rainforest District and Sahara Square, showing the divisions that exist not just physically but socially. The visual design, combined with lighting choices that differentiate the different districts, mirrors how cultural and environmental divisions influence social interactions and biases. Judy Hopps' journey, framed by her small stature and the city's oppressive design, reflects her struggle against systemic prejudice, with her growth mirrored in the environment she navigates. Comparison. Both films use their settings to reflect the societal issues they address. In Spirited Away, the bathhouse's oppressive and artificial design critiques the evils of consumerism, while in Zootopia, the different districts emphasize social segregation. Both films use contrasting lighting and environmental design to underscore societal divisions and highlight how personal growth is tied to overcoming these systemic forces. Character design and metaphors. In Spirited Away, No-Face's transformation into a grotesque figure symbolizes the danger of unchecked greed. His exaggerated growth represents the consuming nature of materialism and corporate greed. Yubaba's exaggerated design, with her large head, visually represents corporate power and control over her workers, reinforcing the film's critique of exploitation. Haku, supporting Chihiro, embodies traditional gender dynamics, reflecting the reliance on male figures to guide female protagonists through adversity. In Zootopia, Judy Hopps' small stature compared to the larger predators emphasizes her struggle to be taken seriously in a male-dominated police force. Judy's rabbit design contrasts with Nick Wilde's, who subverts the stereotypes of a sly fox. Nick's more approachable design allows the audience to see beyond societal prejudice and understand his complexity. Judy's transformation is marked by her growing confidence, mirrored through changes in her body language and expression. Comparison. Both films use character design to critique societal issues like greed, prejudice, and gender bias. In Spirited Away, No-Face and Yubaba's exaggerated design symbolize greed and power, while in Zootopia, Judy and Nick's designs address social stereotypes and biases. Through physicality and animation, both films explore how individuals are shaped by the systems they live in. Judy's evolution from vulnerability to confidence mirrors Chihiro's journey from naivety to self-reliance. Both characters undergo transformations that highlight their personal growth, which is closely linked to their ability to challenge societal expectations. By using visual metaphors, the films deepen their critique of these forces, showing how they impact both individual identity and societal roles. Transformation and growth. In Spirited Away, Chihiro's growth is symbolized by changes in her physicality and framing within the environment. Initially confined to tight, restrictive frames, she gradually navigates larger, more expansive spaces, signaling her increasing self-reliance. As she learns to navigate the bathhouse's harsh world, the lightning softens, mirroring her internal transformation. Her act of cleansing a polluted river spirit highlights the theme of personal renewal. In Zootopia, Judy's transformation is marked by a shift from tight close-ups emphasizing her vulnerability to wider shots as she takes control of her own story. The lighting, initially bright and hopeful, becomes more muted during darker moments, reflecting her realization of systemic injustice. Judy's growth from an optimistic, naive officer to someone confronting and unlearning her biases is mirrored in her changing physicality and expression. Comparison. Both films use visual shifts to reflect their protagonist's growth. In Spirited Away, Chihiro's physical and emotional transformation is mirrored by her changes in framing and lighting, while in Zootopia, Judy's development is reflected through changes in camera angles and lighting. The tighter shots at the beginning of both films emphasize the character's struggles, while the wider shots later symbolize their growing control over their situations. In Spirited Away, Chihiro's ultimate cleansing of the polluted spirit represents renewal, while Judy's transformation is tied to her ability to confront the societal injustices around her. Both characters overcome personal limitations and external obstacles, with their growth visually mirrored in the way they're framed and lit. These shifts in visual design reinforce the film's central themes of transformation and resilience. Conclusion. Both Spirited Away and Zootopia are very powerful but unique all the same in the illustrations they created to be a vessel for social commentary. In the end, these films accomplish similar goals, even with the clear cultural differences and the origins of the studios who created these projects, with Spirited Away focusing on themes of identity, consumerism, and environmentalism within a Japanese cultural framework. Zootopia tackles prejudice and social structures through an American lens. Despite their cultural differences, both of these films use very rich and immersive storytelling, symbolism, and character development to critique modern societal issues. In this process, using the medium of animation, they can utilize various film techniques to create an artistic transformation of all the characters and keeping it at the forefront of each story. That transformation is a crucial factor in addressing the challenges humanity faces. Both of the films excellently demonstrate that animated movies are not just for children, but their messages are towards people of all shapes and sizes, and are wrapped in meaningful narratives that reflect real-world struggles and encourage audiences to think critically about the world around them.